Welcome to Parent Alienation is Child Abuse, Unfiltered. Thank you all for being here today, and welcome to the new subscribers. I thank you all and appreciate every single one of you. Thank you for joining me. If you haven't already liked and subscribed, I'd welcome you to do so and hit the little ding dong bell so you never miss a notification whenever I release a video. Today's video is going to be entitled The Harsh Realities of Parent Alienation. The harsh reality of parent alienation is there's no real winner in this war on children. There's no real winner in this abuse. The ones that think they're winning, which is the narcissistic parent that's doing the alienating and spreading all the bullshit, they think they win, but in the end they're not winners because as I've stated in my other videos, these people are usually left alone, old and alone, because as I've stated, these children grow and these children remember everything. These children will ask questions and these children will also seek out the truth. Whether they get the truthful answers from their narcissistic parent who's withheld them from their mother or father and the extended families, or whether they search for the truth through friends or other family members that they're able to be in contact with. Or, as I've stated before, in this world of social media, there's you can just punch in people's names and you can track people, family members and things down. So these kids will search out the truth. They'll want to know answers on why they've been isolated from their extended families, their cousins, aunties, uncles, nephews, nieces, etc., grandma, grandpa. We've had these discussions before about the ripple effect that this parent alienation has through the family network. As I've stated, there's no winners in this game. The narcissistic parent that thinks they're that they're winning by withholding the children and not allowing the children to be members of their extended families, if that's the way to put it. They're not members because they're not allowed to go and see them, not allowed to visit them, not allowed to have contact with them. The narcissistic parents hold all the power and control on what these children do and who these children are allowed to see. But these kids will search for the truth and these kids will find the answers that they're seeking. As I've stated before, whether the narcissistic parent is honest and forthcoming with these children or whether they're going to continue to lie and bullshit to them. And the sad reality is that some of these parents go on through their life defending what they've done and lying to the children on why these children were isolated from their families. But the children work things out. Now, the real victims in this war on children are the children. These children are placed in the middle of an adult situation. These children have their lives changed forever because of one person. They have their future, their happiness, their development. All of this has been robbed from them because of a selfish person that couldn't get over a relationship breakdown. And that's, as I've stated in all my videos, this channel specifically deals with the narcissistic parent that isolates their child due to a relationship split up that they couldn't handle being rejected. So therefore they turn their child against their other loving parent, or they take the child away so the child has no contact with the parent, be it the mother, be it the father. As I've stated in all my videos, this is not a gender specific. There's no gender that does this more than the other. It's on an equal playing field. There's just as many men out there as what there is that women doing this. And these children are the ones caught in the middle of it all. Regardless of who the parent is, these children are the ones that suffer. Now, if you're a targeted parent, the harsh reality for the targeted parent is that they've made your life miserable. They've made you have to answer and justify things that you've done or things you haven't done, because these people, once you take them to court, which is a lot of times what these targeted parents have to do, is take these people to court to have access to their child. And we've spoke before about the long drawn out process this is, how expensive this is, and how 99% of the time, in my own experiences and people that I've spoken to in the similar circumstances, The targeted parent really doesn't get their voice heard. The narcissistic parent usually gets in there and then makes up a whole pile of bullshit about the targeted parent. How they were abusive, how they were abusive to them, how they had control over everything, how they were abusive to their children. Now, no one really looks into these things. No one checks whether they're actually true or whether they're fabricated. But the courts will base their decisions on these accusations that have been presented to them. And I've stated before that I do not hold the judge responsible for the decisions they make. The decisions they make are based on the information they're given solely by the lawyers involved, the ICL, which is Child Independent Lawyer, and the lawyers for the two parties, the mother or the father. But my experience is that no one really seeks the truth. They're quite willing to make a decision and change a child's life based on something that was told to them, not something that was proven, as a couple of the cases that I'm connected to, that these parents have had their child removed from their care, or children removed from their care on someone's words. We'd spoken before about how words matter, how when Johnny Depp had to defend himself against Amanda Heard, his lawyer had actually said how words matter, and they do. Words can cause a lot of damage. Words can cause a lot of doubt in people's minds. And unless people are thoroughly investigating what's exactly happening, what is truthful and what's not truthful, these children are going to continue to have their lives disrupted, these lives changed, their lives altered forever because of a narcissistic person's decision on not wanting to allow the other parent in the child's life, or the extended families. Because in the harsh world of parent alienation, then these narcissistic people take these children away and they move far away. That's a common tactic that they have. They move far away, so there's no chance of this child seeing any of their members of their families, be it their grandma, grandpa, aunties, uncles, nephews, nieces, cousins. They remove that. They move far away so these children don't have that opportunity to bump into anybody at the shop, bump into anybody down the road. These children are left trapped. These kids, as I've stated before, are held hostage. They're held hostage by a narcissistic person that thinks more of themselves than they do their own child, thinks more of their own well-being more than they do of their own child. These narcissistic people are very selfish, self-centered people. And anybody that's had the unfortunate dealings with a narcissistic person will know exactly what I'm talking about. They believe the world revolves around them and what they say goes. But in the harsh world of reality, the kids grow. These kids seek out the truth and they'll find it. And then the tables will turn. Watch how many people have short memories. Because a lot of people believe that, the kids were little, they won't remember that. They won't even remember who their mother was. They won't remember who their father was. They'll have no idea who their extended family members were. No, we took them away from that. Yeah, well, if these kids were old enough to experience the joy and love that comes with a close family network of cousins, aunties, uncles, nephews, nieces, nanny poppies, then these kids will remember. These kids will remember everything. If they're little kids, say under 1, 2, these kids will have trouble remembering. These kids, the narcissistic parents, feel very proud that these kids won't have memories of their other family members. These kids won't have memories of the love and the care that was given to them when they were small. This has been robbed from them. It's been stolen. These kids I feel so sorry for because These kids grow up angry. They grow up angry. They have so many questions going through their head. And while they're growing, they know they're not going to get the answers they want. They know while they're little, if they go and ask mum and dad, why can't I go and see mum or dad, depending on who the narc is at the time, then these kids face the harsh reality of a chastising for even thinking about wanting to talk about that side of the family. These kids have been programmed not to talk about that because there's repercussions if they do. I've done another video once before about the abuse these children suffer, the trauma these children suffer. These kids are on survival mode. These kids are living day to day, trying not to piss off their narcissistic parent, whoever that happens to be. Because the repercussions some of these children face are not just a verbal tongue lashing. Some of them can face the physical side of the abuse, the lack of love, the coldness of a narcissistic parent that is only having the child for the spiteful reason of them not being in contact with the other person, with the other parent. They don't really actually care about the child. They don't care about the child's well-being. They don't care about the child's development. They don't care when the child is mucking up in class because the child can't focus. They label these kids as naughty kids. Some parents just don't care at all, would rather not know what's going on inside their child's head, because the harsh reality is then they'd have to deal with that and face the consequences of they're the blame for what's happened. They're the blame that these children are damaged. These children aren't whole because they've got half a family. Sometimes it's just the mother or just the father. They've wiped out the whole part of the family. Even some of their own family members, some of these narcissistic people will take the kids away from their own maternal grandmother or own maternal grandfather, whoever happens to be the narc side of the family. Because sometimes these narcs parents will question these narcissistic parents on what they're doing. Oh gosh, don't do that. Narcs don't like to be questioned. Narcs don't like to be held accountable. Don't make them justify what they're doing, because Lord knows they don't like to do that. And they'll fire up big time if you even think about asking questions they don't want to answer. Again, people that's dealt with a narc will know exactly what I'm talking about. Imagine being a child and living with that. A lot of adults that have followed this station or my channel that have left a narcissistic person or are in the process of thinking about whether to leave a narcissistic person. They know. They know how hard it is to try to keep these people happy, try to keep these people pleased so they're not pissed off all the time. Because narcissists don't need any reason to be pissed off. As long as they think they've got a right to be pissed off, they will be. And you just have to cop it. Kids just have to cop it. Except kids are little. Kids don't understand that it's just this person's trait. This is who this person is. They're a narcissistic person who's angry and cranky all the time, unless they're getting what they want. Unless the world's revolving around them. Oh my gosh, then they're the happiest person in the world. That's how you keep a narc happy. You make them the centre of the world, which is what they want to be. And these poor children that, like I said, these kids are surviving. They survive day to day, week to week, month to month, year to year. And as for the targeted parent, the harsh reality for them is that they've had their lives changed forever. These narcissistic people have made these loving, caring people wonder what the hell they've done. Because a lot of times these people bend sideways, backwards, all over the place to keep these people happy. And it's impossible to keep a narcissistic person happy. But these people scratch their heads going, well, I thought that's what they wanted. I did all the housework. I've been to work all day and I've come home and done all the housework as well. I mean, I don't know what else I can do. I don't know what they're angry about this time. I don't know what he's angry about this time. I don't know what she's angry about this time. It's an endless game to them because they get a kick out of it. They get a kick out of the hurt they cause. They get a kick out of the control they have. That's the cruncher. They get a kick out of the power and the control they have. That's why I say to people, don't give your power away. Don't buckle to a narcissistic person. If they're showing narc signs early in your relationship, then you need to get out of there. Because if you're seeing traits already from someone you're being with that likes to be self-centered and thinks everything revolves around them, and if you don't give them enough attention, then they get their nose put out. If you're connected to somebody like that, you really need to think twice about whether you want to be long-term with it. I always say in all my videos is not to rush stuff. Meet somebody, get to know them, get to know who they are, get to know the ins and outs of the relationship. Don't rush out and have a child. Don't bring a child into the world when you're not 100% sure your relationship's going to last. And no one really knows if a relationship's going to last until they actually get to know each other. Get to know their traits, get to know them when they're in a bad mood. See things, what trigger them, what can trigger them to be cranky, or what triggers them to be happy. Everybody's got trigger points. And you need to find the good and the bad in people before you have a child. I say it all the time, not to rush out and have a child with somebody you hardly know. Because in the end, that child's the one that's going to be paying the price for that. I would suggest leaving it a couple years. Even in 12 months, not everybody shows their true colours in the first 12 months of a relationship. You need to see what people are like. You need to understand their traits. You need to understand how they think about things. I always, myself, it's just me, I always judge people on how they treat children and animals. If you have a person that treats children and animals poorly, then take that as a huge red flag. Because if someone can't be kind to the vulnerable, then they have no place raising a child. And I believe that when you have a child, that child should be equally connected to all members of the family, the mother and the father, unless it's proven that there's domestic violence or a reason, but it has to be a proven reason why these children shouldn't be involved with this particular person. But it has to be proven, not just because someone uses words. These children have a right to have their parents in their lives. No parent has the right to decide that that child is not allowed to see that person because you don't like them. The child's not allowed to like them either. I've had incidences where narcs get jealous of their children. Narcs get jealous of the children's bond with the other parent. Narcs get jealous of the children's bonds with extended family members, be it cousins or aunties or uncles, close connections to Nanny and Poppy. Narcs get jealous of that because the child can't love anybody more than it loves its mother or its father, whoever happens to be the narc. And that's wrong. What gives you the right to decide, because you can't move on, that your child should pay the price for that? What gives you that right to decide that? You have no right over that child. That child's not a piece of your property. Children are not property. They don't belong to anybody. You create them, you bring them into the world, you're giving that privilege of moulding and sculpturing that child into be a happy, productive member of society, a caring, loving member of society. The child's raised by a narc, and a narc's the only example that child has in its life, then guaranteed that child's going to turn into a narc. Because throw tanties, that's how you get what you want. That works for mum, that works for dad, must work for me too. But no one likes a narc. No one wants to be around a narc. All these narcs do is cause trauma and conflict. That's the two good things that they're good at. Trauma and conflict. Harsh reality for the targeted parent is some of these parents struggle. A lot of them struggle with the question of, what did I do wrong? Why did this person turn out to be someone that I loved, someone I wanted to share my life with? But then, because I disagreed with them on a few things, they changed. Seeing little things change in them, I wasn't smart enough to realise exactly what it meant. And the more you try to stand your ground, the more these narcs buckle down. And when you decide you don't want to be part of that relationship anymore and you leave, particularly if you've got a child, their revenge is to use that child against you. Turn that child against you. Or just take the child away so you can't see the child anymore. There's no greater pain than being removed from your child's life. These narcissistic parents, they erase families. They try to erase memories by planting false memories. They cause an enormous amount of damage. They cause an enormous amount of trauma in these children. And this comes out in these kids as these kids get older. The parents of these children that are not allowed to be in these children's lives, not allowed to be part of what's going on, their growth and development, not even allowed to have a phone call, not allowed to know anything about what's going on with the kids. Some of these parents give up. Not give up loving their children, because you can never stop loving your child. Some parents give up the fight because they run out of money. They get told because they react a certain way, they're too emotional. These are good things that they're not good things, but these are things courts will throw in your face. You get too upset, you're too emotional. You're not upset enough, you're too cold-hearted. That some people just give up the fight for life. There's been recently another 2 parents that I've been made aware of that just exited the world because of false allegations. The right to see their child. The constant having to go to court, having to prove yourself, having to justify things, having to answer for things you haven't done. Some people are just not strong enough to cope with that. How's a narc going to explain that one? When the child goes, well, what happened to mummy or daddy? Why, I heard there's a funeral for them, what happened? They're not going to turn around and tell these kids that, because I isolated you from your family and, they just couldn't get over it. Took the easy way out. Or they'll just lie some other bullshit to them. They won't tell them the truth. They're not going to go and turn around and say, well, I actually destroyed your mother's life, or I actually destroyed your father's life. and pushed him to, or pushed her beyond the point that they could come back from. Kind of sent them a little bit, I won't say insane, because they're not insane. These people are heartbroken and frustrated people that have banged their heads against a wall that no one wants to listen to. Try to speak about what they've been experiencing, the stuff they've been through themselves, only to have no one listen to that. No one's interested. Narcs got in there first and screamed domestic violence or child abuse, and they run with that one. And the targeted parent don't even get a say. Makes me wonder sometimes how things can be so easily dismissed by the court system. When you have someone go in there and scream domestic violence or scream child abuse. And this is, say, big strong fella to a small quiet person, or a big strong girl and a timid gentleman. Works on both sides. Narcs are not gender specific. Narcs are everywhere. Probably walk down the street and see a narc. You don't have to be connected to them, but they're everywhere. And you don't give that power away. You don't buckle to a narc. You don't give them what they want. As soon as you do, they've got you. As soon as you give them anything they want, they've got you. They know they got a hook, line and sinker, and then the real narcissism will kick in. Then the real control will kick in. Then the real threats will kick in. Especially like when you try to leave a narc. Boy, the threats they make when you start doing that. Oh, they'll do like threats of self-harm. Or they'll go out and do self-harm, like crash a car, hurt yourself. Now I'm broken. Now you have to come back and stay with me while I get fixed again. And some people get sucked into that. Some other narcs will threaten your life. If you leave me, I'll come and kill your family. If you leave me, I'll I'll kill your dog, kill your cat. So these people are trapped. Narcs have lots of different ways of controlling people. But it's not giving your power away. Don't give your power away. Because the first time you do, you've lost. I don't say not to agree with stuff people say. That's not what I'm saying at all. What I am saying is, if you've got something to say, say it. If you don't want to do something, speak your mind. If you want to go and visit your parents this weekend and the narc don't want to go anyway. If they kick up a shitty, stinky thing, well, let them do that. Want to carry on like a toddler, then let them do that. Don't give your power away. Don't turn around and go, well, okay, we won't go this week, we'll go next week or something. Because next week's going to be the same bullshit. You already give your power away this week by not going. You want to do something and it's in within reason. Visiting your parents with your own children is in reason. Shouldn't have to ask for that. Shouldn't have to ask permission for that, for sure. And you should just go. If they say no, make them explain their reasoning. Don't just settle for a no and the shitty mood they get into, because that's what they do. They go no and then get shitty. Make them explain themselves. And if they can't explain themselves, you go and do what it is you want to do. Relationships aren't about controlling each other. Relationship isn't about one person being the boss. A relationship is a 50-50 thing where you come together to make each other better. What you can do to help your partner improve in the way of helping and loving and nurturing and supporting them. And the same with the partner, supporting and nurturing and caring for what you want. It's a two-sided thing. There's no working harder to make someone happier than the other person, because if you're doing that, you're living a lie. You're doing that, you're robbing yourself of your own happiness. The harsh reality of parent alienation is there's no winners. There's just a lot of losers. A lot of losers. The children pay that ultimate price. They're the ultimate losers. They're stuck with a narcissistic person who controls everything that they do and are only happy and nice when the children bow down and don't give them a reason to get cranky. Don't talk about your family. Don't talk about your extended families. Gosh, don't mention your mother or your father. Gosh, no, don't do that. Kids know early not to piss off a narcissistic person. I had one child that used to go to see her parent, and this child felt safe when she was there. But this child would constantly remind this parent, Daddy's boss, hey mum, Dad's boss. Can't do that because Dad said so. Dad's boss, hey mum, Dad's boss. This child's been programmed to believe that her father is boss, and her father's not boss. But he's not boss. What he is just another narcissist that couldn't take rejection. And the only way that he could hurt the person that decided not to be with him because of the way he was and the behaviour he had was to take the child away, turn the child against that person, and plant false memories into the child. Probably use the same tactics on the child he used with the mother to control her. Fear and intimidation or violence. Whatever worked. Narcissistic mother's the same. Just worked a little differently. She did most of her work with just a look. Kids understood what that look meant and repercussions if they didn't follow suit. She would encourage lies with the children, encourage them to lie. Yeah. Can do a lot of damage. Again, not taking rejection. Turn the child against the parent. And if that didn't work, they move far, far away. Far, far away. That's usually their first thing they do. Because when the targeted parent finally works out what's going on and has to take the next step as to go to court, then you've got to try to find them, don't you? Because they'll move and don't tell you where they go, they just go. So it's just more time stolen. And why? Because the relationship didn't work. And you went your separate ways. It's not that child's fault. It's not the children's fault. It's yours for rushing into it. For not knowing who you were getting involved with in the first place. So the sad reality of parent alienation is there's no real winners. Just a lot of losers. And the children, they're the biggest victims in this. They were innocently born into the world. Now they're in the middle of a war between the parents that they love. It's really sad for that child. Anyway, I'm going to leave this one here today. Thank you all again for being here. Welcome again to the new subscribers. And stay happy, guys. Try to stay positive. It's a bleak world. And there's a lot of things being thrown at people to challenge their integrity, to challenge their morals, their beliefs. Don't let the narcissistic person in your life decide on how the rest of your life goes. Don't allow them to rob you of any more happiness. Anyway, guys, I'll catch you in the next one. See ya. Bye.